you're right there, guys. But wait, let me come up to you. Don't drink that milk first or eat the cheese. Because, you know why? I'm gonna ask you this first. Have you ever wondered why it doesn't instantly spoil or make you sick? Okay, let's find out. What's up guys, Moriel here, your favorite science buddy. Today, we are meeting the science ultimate superhero who saved millions of lives. Woo! Do you know who is he? The father of microbiology himself, Louis Pasteur. Let's dive in. So, who is Louis Pasteur? Louis Pasteur, born in France in 1822, he was a brilliant chemist and microbiologist. But he didn't start his career by curing humans. He started his career by studying crystals as a chemist. Now, if you want to know more, let's proceed. Do you know why Louis Pasteur is part of our history, or why is he so important in microbiology? Because he fundamentally changed how we understand germs. Because people back then thought that diseases or illnesses just come out of nowhere or from thin air. But Pasteur proved that wrong. He created a modern medicine and food safety that keep us alive today. But before anything else, let's just do a quick Pasteur timeline challenge. According to the video that I've watched, and I also do a deep research in the Institute of Pasteur. In 1854, Louis Pasteur becomes a professor and Dean of Science in Lille, France. And then in 1855, he studies experimentation investigating why beer and wine could change or spoil. And then in 1864, his experiments provided important evidence disproving the spontaneous generation, supporting the idea that microorganisms comes from living organisms or microorganisms comes from pre-existing microorganisms. And then in 1878, Louis Pasteur publishes his works on the germ theory and created a vaccine for chicken cholera using attenuated microorganism. Next, in 1879, his works demonstrates immunization using attenuated cultures by helping to establish a new approach of vaccination. And then, finally, in 1885, Pasteur's works leads to the first human rabies vaccination, and it involves a 9-year-old boy named Joseph Pasteur. From chemistry to fermentation to microorganism and to vaccine, that's quite a scientific journey, isn't it? Now that we explored Pasteur's journey, let's go to one of his discoveries, fermentation. Pasteur became interested in fermentation because products like wine and beer could sometimes spoil or do some unwanted changes. But Pasteur just didn't look at the product itself, but he looked for the cause. According to the article of Stephen M. Opal in A Brief History of Microbiology and Immunology, Pasteur demonstrated to us that microorganisms are responsible for fermentation and showed that the spoilage or contamination of organic substances was connected to environmental microorganisms. But some microorganisms could also spoil wine and beer. So, Pasteur asked himself that if microorganisms cause the problem, how can we stop them? In simple terms, microorganisms like yeast help sugar to convert into alcohol during fermentation. This is where chemistry and biology meets together. The biology explains the microorganisms, while chemistry meets the changes in substances. Woo! This is where pasteurization comes in. This is a heating process of food and drinks such as milks and wine to kill harmful bacteria or germs to stop spoilage and diseases without affecting its taste.
The next day.
At Additionally, to get rid of the bacteria that cause the wine to spoil quickly, Pasteur recommended briefly heating it around 55 to 60 degrees Celsius and then sealing the containers. But Pasteur's work did not stop in fermentation and food. He eventually asked for a much bigger question. If microorganisms can affect food, can they also cause disease? The answer is yes. Do you wanna know why? Louis Pasteur investigated diseases in animals including silkworm diseases and found out that microorganisms were involved in infection. According to the article that I've read from Cavaillon and Linkin, Pasteur's work helped connect microorganisms to diseases and infection. In simple terms, germ theory says that certain microorganisms can cause infectious diseases. This changed medicine because scientists could identify what causes an infection, how it started, or how it spread, and how to prevent it. In 19th century, germ theory replaces the old bad air belief with an evidence that microorganisms can cause disease. Then, Pasteur's used a swan neck flask to prove his experiment that microbes came from the environment, not just from nowhere. Pasteur's work contributed to infection prevention by establishing the importance of microorganisms in disease and contamination. This led to a better sanitation, hygiene, and cleaning practices to control the spread of microorganisms and prevent infection. And now, let's proceed to hand washing. According to the CDC, washing with soap and water helps remove germs, dirt, and chemicals from our hands. The goal isn't simply to kill every microorganism, the goal is to remove them from our hands. In the end, Pasteur showed us that understanding microorganisms can help us to prevent diseases and protect lives. Again, this is your favorite science buddy, Moriel. Goodbye and God bless.